bottom of our Champions League group after 2 straight defeats, and our worst start to a Premier League season for 34 years. When it rains, it pours at Manchester United. And tonight, the storm of unrest surrounding the club has frustratingly intensified with this demoralising defeat against Galatasaray. Hojlund scored a brilliant double and also had a superb finish disallowed for offside. It was a powerful display by our young marksman. But this United side is much too easy to score against. That's 7 goals conceded in our opening 2 group games, and that's just not good enough. Twice the Turkish champions came from behind to claim their first away win in this competition in 18 matches on the road. Not surprisingly, they celebrated like they'd actually won the Champions League. Galatasaray even had the luxury of missing a penalty after Onana gave the ball away, and crucially, Casemiro saw red for his second yellow when he tried to win the ball back. With the match balanced at 2-2, Icardi failed to punish Onana from the spot, but the striker still grabbed the winner when he broke away and dinked the ball over our keeper 9 minutes from time. It was a brilliant finish, but I did feel that Onana was beaten too easily, and that puts him under renewed pressure. It's certainly not gone according to plan for Onana, who's failed to match the form of his predecessor, the brilliant David De Gea, who ended last season with the Golden Glove in the Premier League. With Amrabat again at emergency left-back, this time alongside Lindelof and Varane, with Dalot out on the right, this was a shocking defensive performance in the second half. One wonders what Harry Maguire was thinking, watching from the bench. We all know that Erik ten Hag wanted to bring in a new centre-back in the summer, and Harry Maguire's refusal to leave means it's a position we've failed to improve. When things go wrong, it's easy to blame the manager. And predictably, there's going to be growing frustration that Ten Hag is not delivering the results on a regular basis that Manchester United fans demand. In 3 transfer windows, including add-ons, we've already spent over £400 million on new players since Erik ten Hag took charge. But let's be realistic, the manager has clearly had one eye on a long-term plan because we've lacked the financial muscle to make serious bids for the likes of established stars like Harry Kane or Jude Bellingham, who's really setting the world alight over at Real Madrid. There's also the fact that joining United in our current state of uncertainty and disarray is not an easy sell. The bottom line is that it's clear we're still a long way from being a team equipped to challenge for any of the big competitions. This is now our worst start to a season since before Ferguson arrived in 1986. But trying to pin this all on the manager would be a huge mistake. As Erik ten Hag's predecessor, Ralf Rangnick, identified, this club needed open heart surgery, and this was never going to be a quick fix. It's a condition created by poor management by the owners. Years of poor recruitment, years of overpaying for players who are not always the best available, and a short-term culture of putting commercial interest ahead of success out on the pitch. The result has been a consequential decline in standards and discipline that successive managers have all struggled to overcome. Magnified by uncertainty about the club's ownership, it's a malaise that continues to fester. Erik ten Hag overachieved last season and is slowly building for the future, enthused by a maturing group of academy youngsters that give us genuine optimism for the future. But we still have this fatal flaw running through our squad. When the going gets tough, too many of our players fall short. And I'm not just making that assessment based on one match. It's a lingering condition. In my mind, this is down to a number of factors. It's a symptom of our club consistently overpaying and overrating players who consequently lose their hunger to achieve. I'm not going to single out individual players for blame. I think the whole culture of scapegoating is part of the problem. Harry Maguire's form clearly went downhill when he was targeted by constant trolling. And this past week, we've seen Marcus Rashford on the receiving end of abuse and criticism. And that may have been on his mind when he broke and failed to bury a good chance at 1-1. But we did see Rashford at his best when he set up a stunning opening strike for Rasmus Hojlund. The most promising takeaway from this match was the ruthless finishing power of young Hojlund. This kid really has quality, but we can't win matches if we keep giving away soft goals. Erik ten Hag will certainly feel the heat with the inevitable backlash from a divided fan base and the media who love to troll Manchester United Football Club. But there are mitigating circumstances, not least our long injury list. Next is a home match with Brentford on Saturday, and once again it will be billed as a must-win match. On the back of our worst ever start to a Champions League campaign, this is also our worst start to a domestic league campaign for 34 years. That was a season when a struggling Alex Ferguson could easily have been sacked, but saved his job when we won the FA Cup. Back then, the players dug deep to save the manager's job, and the rest, as they say, is history. But this is a very different world. The intensity of public scrutiny is magnified tenfold by the spotlight of social media, non-stop fan channel analysis, and the world of 24-hour news channels. Personally, I do believe Erik ten Hag is equipped to lead United out of the darkness, but the longer this run continues, the harder it gets.